when we don't play music, it's substantially easier because I can just go straight from Jitsi. The one downside, although there is a bit of an upside to it as well, is that I think it's going to kick us off after an hour and 58 seconds. I don't know why they give us an extra 58 seconds. It's weird. But when I run through OBS, then we can just go forever. So this at least gives us a like, hey, you guys have been talking for an hour. Shut the hell up, sort of a dinger. We can always turn it back on if we need to.
But... Yeah.
All right. So, I don't know what I mean, I don't have any like graphic design skills. I feel like that like Google Docs is maybe not the best way to do this. Does anybody, I mean, there's like Figma, there's different things, but I don't know.
I think
what.
what's the Google Docs PowerPoint? Slides.
Yeah.
Slides can actually work really well. Um, I will say I professionally do PowerPoints. Like I find it hilarious talking about my job and stuff like that. The main thing that I end up doing for work is I create really pretty PowerPoints. So uh, I am actually sharing real quick.
Okay.
So in this, so we're wanting to create a handout. I figure what'll kind of need to focus on is what kind of information and stuff we want to have on it. And I am using AI because it's just easier. I don't like typing. So I asked Gemini create me a one-page handout that explains Creative Commons music licensing, and this is actually what it came up with real quick.
Well, I guess one of the things is like, does it need like, is one page the right form factor? I mean, like,
So I almost say yes, but I don't like this form factor. So let me go in
I mean,
here.
if we do, if we design it for 8.5 by 11, then that makes it easy for people.
Uh huh.
But at the same time, that's a lot of paper to like have at a show, and I don't know. I wonder, maybe it would make sense to do like one that's like half page or quarter page, and one that's full page.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
So well, all right.
I
Let's.
mean, I haven't been to any of the shows that you've done, so um, I guess we got to think about like, if you've got like a stack of 8.5 by 11, then it's going to get heavy for somebody to just like you know
Mm,
carrying around, handle them out. But if you had like a table that they were on, and you just set them there, then that becomes less of an issue. And you still have to get them from the car to wherever. Although a small little stack is not
yeah.
going to be a problem.
So here, I've shrank that down a little bit more. That's kind of amazing the AI and what you can do with it. Although I do think it's funny where to find Creative Commons music. It's a free music archive, CC Mixer, and SoundCloud.
Yeah, I mean those are all correct. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
I
the
don't ever trust SoundCloud's Creative Commons because there's so much like remix stuff out there that just feels like it's
well. I mean that's true on Bandcamp as well.
true.
So YouTube, I don't actually know about where the like YouTube audio, where that stuff is. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff in there. I think maybe that stuff is just CCBY, which doesn't
Yeah.
make it wrong, but I'm not sure how to find that stuff. Me in YouTube Studio.
Well, it'll say down at the bottom, like Jonathan Mann's stuff always has it listed as
Yeah, but I'm saying like if you're a creator and you're looking, if you're a videographer and you're looking for, um, you can like add, um, you know, music. They have a library, or they used to have a library. Okay, so if you go to YouTube Studio, then it's like over on the left hand pane, there's like dashboard, content, analytics, a bunch of stuff over there. Down at the bottom of that, or depends on how you look at it. At the very bottom, there's settings and feedback, but there's a little, there's stuff sort of in the middle, and then two things there at the bottom. But the bottom of the middle stack is audio library. So let's see what this says. So see, if you just go into audio library, it doesn't tell you. Okay. So I didn't notice it at first because what they have for license type, if it's the YouTube license, is they just have like that YouTube logo. It's not even red. It's like, just it's not quite a rectangle. I guess it's kind of shaped like a CRT. It's curved like a curved screen, with the plus with the play sign in the middle, that YouTube symbol. So that's all YouTube license. Search or filter library. All right. Okay. So the YouTube license stuff, they're saying attribution is not required. And then I think if we do, yeah. So if we do, if you just in the YouTube thing go to attribution required, then then you will see the CC attribution. I think, I don't. I mean, you're like, target audience here is like music lovers, right?
yeah.
YouTube audio libraries, not the target audience.
No.
It should be. We could just change that to Bandcamp, I guess. Or I mean, and if we don't, yeah, I mean, net labels. I mean,
Yeah.
that's true, but like, I think I think on a handout that might be kind of useless.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of just the word net labels, maybe you put like net label guide. What is the name of that URL?
And just make a link to it.
Yeah, netlabelguide.com. I don't know if that's our best option. I mean, Klong Klong Moo is cool because it's got the reviews and stuff, but
Mm.
I people are going to be like, what the hell, if they just see Klong Klong Moo? And I mean, for a certain person, it'd be like, what the hell is this? That sounds cool. Like, but I don't know. I mean, maybe that is the target audience. Maybe just like something, that's weird that makes no sense is the people will go check it out. I don't
Yeah.
know. Sam, do you have any thoughts? You're always my net label go-to guy.
Um, yeah, I do agree that if you just say Klong Klong Moo, then it might not be that helpful. But I don't know. I How would you compare this to like a understanding like a full copyright presentation? Like, I'm just worried that there might be like too much text on a slide or something. I don't know.
Are you guys
Yeah,
there?
But
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're here.
Okay. What if we had one side of the flyer be kind of more selling, and then maybe the back side of it has more of this kind of detail stuff, and we
Okay.
also could link to our website that would walk them through much more of the
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
I guess. My concern is that if we wanted this to be like portable for people like, do to put at their own shows, like being double-sided might not be. I mean, we're gonna have multiple different form factors. I don't.
Right.
At some point that becomes ridiculous, but like I don't know. Like,
I mean, I've been at a lot of political things, and the more text on there, the less you're going to read it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they want to give you a fucking, newspaper. Just give me a fucking flyer,
Yeah.
and there's a chance I'll.
So, at the most basic, like a quick, what is the basics that kind of goes there?
Well, why should I care?
Huh?
Why should I care? Is always my thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the allowing, the remixing, the sharing, and the adapting. That's part of that. So I don't know if we want to have, instead of like, I mean, maybe just have a separate section instead of what is it. You could break that out into like a why and just
Compare it to full copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess going back to one of the questions, I cannot type and talk at the same time, and just know whenever people are watching me type, I forget how to type.
yeah.
But like going back to the target audience, like music lovers and people who are already into music is, I think, one of the targets that we should have. And like for me, when I go to the record store and I'm explaining it to him, like the record store employee.
Yeah.
And kind of how it ties to there. And like I've now got a little small section of Rhino's picks in my local record store. And like I could even see where it's got the little thing, make something that could fit in there as well. Just to be like, oh, this is all CC license and what is it? And the other one is like when I'm talking to different artists, like when we have the shows, like the Milwaukee show that William was there for, all the people there already knew Creative Commons. But for these smaller shows where there's artists that are there that we're wanting to get them involved and try to convince them. So I would say the first two groups I would focus on are just like the music nerds that are absolutely crazy about music, and then the artists that we're trying to get them to do it.
I think those are two different flyers. So let's pick one to start with.
All right. And you were talking, one of the things, like I said, I can't type when people are looking, so
that's fine.
Like calling out what is different. And that's where I kind of started off with this some rights reserved, because I always like that. That's what Bandcamp kind of says at the bottom.
Well, I think that's what they all say. I think. Let's see.
We've talked about this before, and I cannot remember. Who is the original quote for "My problem is not piracy, my problem is obscurity"?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, along those lines, I was thinking music for sharing. It's kind of a good term.
Yeah. Oh, it is Cory Doctorow reason. No?
I think he popularized it.
Good resources, yeah.
Actually, I would like to find a good picture of
Right.
him. Just trying to get some like things in there.
That's really good because I mean, yeah, that's. I would think that would hit both audiences.
Yeah. Oh, and let me. I don't know. Is everybody shared this? I do not use Google Docs anymore. I am now in a Windows shop, so I do not remember how to share everything in here.
I do, and I don't remember. There you go.
All right. So SoundCloud says beside their little icon, Creative Commons license. So maybe that is just a Bandcamp thing. And FMA uses the big picture.
Oh, still need to get
Yeah.
access.
Oh, didn't.
Request sent.
Okay. Let me pull it up over here.
I think you may just not have given enough access when you did that.
Yeah, I probably did not. All right, you should have there. Let's see. There's there. Sam, do you have a Gmail address?
I have Hotmail. I just use that.
All right. Don't worry, I still have a Hotmail. I actually have like 6 different email addresses, and every single one of them is used for a different purpose. Do IT security, and that is a recommendation I always make to people. So, all right. Where is my... And there's all kinds of different questions I'm having on this, and I'm just trying to think through them. I think first get a basic thought of what we need to say and what we want to have. So are there any other details that we think we would want to have? Music leveler, music nerd, and like an artist that we're trying to convince, like, hey, this is what it is and this is why. So I
I'm
guess
not sure you need the license type and the common combinations. I don't know which one, but I think one or the other. There's too much overlap there. You know, as far as the space we have.
Okay. Actually, I guess. Is there anything on creativecommons.org that we could kind of steal?
There might be.
It's probably Creative Commons.
Let's see.
You could copy the logo.
The one I have up here.
Yeah.
Let me.
Maybe.
They have the. I think they have some materials that. Let's see if I can find those. licenses and tools.
I was hoping it was going to let me copy that image, but it's not.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I just for me everything builds off of basically what Corey said. So, you want to be able to share it, and regular licensing, you don't know exactly when it's going to come up and be a roadblock for you sharing it. And so Creative Commons makes that easy. And so so we have a world of, social media. And so you want to be able to make it as easy for somebody to share it and for somebody to build off of it and for somebody to say, oh, what's that song in the background or whatever. And that's how, and to me, the other side of that is that I want the best stuff to be the most popular and the best stuff being determined by the public. And I think we often get crap, I would generally say, whatever, lesser stuff that crowds out the good stuff because it's what, the labels or Spotify or whoever decides to push or there's money behind it or whatever. So to me, that's the big picture, is that the more that becomes Creative Commons, the more that can be freely shared, the more that our cultural space basically will be dominated by the best stuff. And so I don't know. So that's what I would want to say on there is that we want you to win. We want the best stuff to win, and we don't want it to be a corporation that's deciding that.
Got the books. Got a Norwegian translation. Do you need that?
I mean,
no, but actually the PDF. No, there's that. There might be something in there. I didn't know this was a thing that existed, but there's a print book. Maybe I did at some point. I mean, came out in 2017. But yeah, there was a few different translations. Indonesian is a good one. A lot of Indonesian sing folks.
I actually like this image here. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's where it kind of does show what we're kind of speaking to. And because we're wanting to make sure we're doing it right, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I put the attribution in there as we go along. Because if that's kind of it. Oh. One of the thoughts, so for ways to do it and the ways to arrange it, I know we were kind of talking, what kind of access will people have to printers too? Like I have a dual-sided printer in my house.
Well, that's why I was saying I don't know if dual-sided. I mean, you could always make one of those, but then also have one that's designed for, a single sheet.
Yeah. So let's see. Have that. That's there for attribution. And the other thing I was thinking is either that we could just kind of cut a piece of paper in half, have to where it's going to be what people have in their house or have access to. I think everybody could pretty simply cut it with scissors, but some people might have like paper cutters or something like that would kind of help us flow it through. So let's take this. And how
What are we
Go ahead.
What are we thinking as far as license for this?
For this, I'd almost say if we could make it a CC0, because
Yeah.
I don't think for us and what's going on with this, I'm not worried. I mean, we could have it a CC BY and make it a tribute to Friends of CC Music, and
Yeah.
it's where that's kind of tie it from there.
I don't have strong feelings either way, but yeah, those are the two that would seem like they make the most sense.
Yeah, because the thing is with the CC0, if somebody just wants to take it and share it and not actually have us listed on there, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about CC0 is it's going to allow people to put it in different form factors without having to worry about getting the attribution on there.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless somebody feels like that's a bad idea, I'd just say let's do CC0.
Agreed.
All right. That's giant. That's not what we're looking for. I always, like I said before, I am always using Office now, so I don't remember where everything is in slides. Oh, what do they have? Anything interesting in their downloads?
Well, they have the like public domain. They have a couple different, SVGs and PNGs that are designed to be smaller on there, and the ones that say public domain might be better than just a 0 that nobody knows what the hell it is.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say on that is we're not wanting to go public. As much as we want it to be, we want to
So
make sure.
CC0 is a public domain declaration.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
but we want to have it tied back to the CC.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's the CC's, their CC0 logo on there.
Okay. So, about. Putting both of these. I'll make them size out here a little better in a second.
Oh, so there's, yeah. So no, yeah. I'm talking about the ones that actually say public domain. Again, nobody knows what those logos mean. If you just put them on there, it's not really, I don't think, telling people much. But so
I see the one you're talking about.
there's the public domain mark, which is the C with the line through it. And that's stuff that is like literally in the public domain. It doesn't have copyright on it.
Yeah.
And then the CC0 is a public domain declaration. And also says public domain. So that is a little bit confusing.
Is that legally different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and this is because they have the different ones here. So there's the CC0 public domain, and here's another CC0 public domain. kind of like that one a little better. And when you say they're different, public domain is just nobody's claimed it, but this one is like, hey, it's being declared as this.
Well, public domain is that copyright term has expired. You don't have to claim copyright.
Yeah.
You just get it. You create something, there's copyright on it. So the thing is that you can't really give away some of your rights. It's complicated. It's less hard to give away rights in the U.S. than it is in other countries, but
Just trying to think through. I want to make sure Chatham here has his attribution. If we're going to use that as one of the things we're putting in here. Oh. I mean, I want to pretty it up some, but as far as a one page, my problem isn't piracy, it's obscurity. Creative Commons, some rights reserved versus standard copyright, all rights reserved. Creative Commons music, the basics, what it is, free standardized license for sharing copyrighted music. Creators retain copyright while granting usage rights and allows for remixing, sharing, and adapting with conditions.
So in that section for what is it? For free, do you mean no cost or a different kind of free?
On that, I just took what Gemini said.
Right.
I
Yeah.
trusted the AI, which may be a problem. So,
I don't know if a musician says that, would they just say like the license is free and I don't have to pay for it, or
Right.
what would they think?
how about, so instead of free, how about open?
I like that.
Yeah, that's better.
Like makes it less confusing at that point. So and here's just a thought. Since we're having, I don't think people need to know what I don't think we have to describe what standard copyright is. I think most people all understand when they see copyright, they're like, "Oh, that means this."
yeah, I would put like a colon maybe in between the Creative Commons and some rights reserved and the standard copyright, all rights reserved, or something. If not a colon, a dash, just a
Kind of call it out.
yeah.
So, thinking. All this is centered. So kind of headed up with this. Standard, some rights reserved versus that is kind of our header. And I'm not even sure if I'm 100% certain on that.
I still think you need like quotes around like some rights reserved and all rights reserved or something that like so that it's not just like one. Remember, these are people that like potentially have like no no experience with Creative Commons. So like, you put CC/SRR in front of them and then they might like think that's the thing.
Yeah.
What do you think they will think of the quote at the bottom?
I think a lot of them will understand it. Like,
I don't have a problem with it. I do think it's kind of pointless if the if the target is the audience. I kind of think it's pointless. I think that's more a musician's thing, but I don't think it's wrong. Yeah, there might be people might be like, okay, this sounds cool, but why would a musician do that? That might be something that they think, and then it's kind of already answered. So maybe it does have a purpose instead of just sounding like this like weird utopia thing that these hippies are handing out flyers about. So I guess I talked myself into it having a purpose for the audience.
yeah.
Okie dokie.
But I guess what the problem here may be that people might not know who Cory Doctorow is. So maybe like Cory Doctorow, like author or something like that.
Yeah. Or even Boing Boing. Is Boing Boing still a thing?
Think
Yeah,
so.
he's not part of it anymore though.
Is not.
EFF.
All right.
Yeah, I just put author, and then people are like, "Oh, this is a guy that makes things."
Yeah.
That's why he's important.
Yeah. Well, and it originally had it listed as the quote had it where I found it said as maker. To where I'm wondering if we went with maker.
Yeah, I mean, on Wikipedia they list him his occupation as author, blogger, which I mean, I understand there's some distinction there, but
I think better as author. And I also think it's interesting because a lot of people who see this are going to have no clue who he is.
yeah.
And so the fact that they have no clue and he's saying my problem is piracy, it's purity, kind of fits the.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's an author. He's a great author. He's one of my favorite authors. Yeah, and you don't know about him. And it's not because his stuff's being pirated. It's just
Yeah.
because he's so obscure you don't know who he is. I kind of like how it ties in when you don't
Yeah.
know who he is. So, all right, let's see. I want to take this. Move the size up on that a little. I'm happy with that. I mean, do you think there's any additional details that we should add to the what is it?
Well, so no, but well, so maybe this would be something to note up at the top, because right now it just says CC Music. So maybe you want to put like CC Music, like audience, and then is this our double-sided one or our single-sided one?
This is just single-sided.
So you might, yeah, again, up at the top. Actually, I guess I have access. I can change that. Where we go? Google Slides.
Actually, what I'm curious. Where is my options? Yes, I want to drop shadow. No, I don't want to drop shadow on that.
You said one-sided or two-sided? I don't even remember.
This one would be the one-sided.
Okay. So, since this is the one-sided, we need to make sure we give them a place to go look for more information.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Actually, so let's do it this way. Do we just want to send them to creativecommons.org or do we want to send them to?
Well, so how soon are you going to be printing some of these out?
Not probably for a month.
So what I would say is we should probably have a page for where people are going to land.
I can do that right now.
Yeah.
And then obviously on that page, we can send them over to creativecommons.org.
Oh.
I think one of the problems with sending them just to creativecommons.org to start with is they're not very music focused.
No. I am decent with the Google Sheets, but I do not think it's nearly as good as Office. Glad I don't have to use it full time anymore. And here's one thing I will say about this one, and kind of doing it this way. Like for me, where I have a dual-sided printer easily hand available, it could be nice to print this as double-sided and just make sure that when it prints double-sided, that it's like a bifold, and I could just cut it in half.
Yeah, I don't think we need the Creative Commons music. I mean, they're going to be getting this at shows. It's, I don't know that it's overly busy. I'm not even sure. Do we need the what is it like as a heading or just like the bullet points? I mean, I feel like most people are going to be smart enough to realize, hey, that's we're telling you what the hell that it is.
Yeah. So how about this? Take that out and have our Creative Commons is this. Then have that up. Because we have the headline there. And so I'm moving stuff around. And there's a part of me that wants to add some more to it, but I really like the cleanness of this.
It just seems a little busy.
Even with what it has?
I mean, we don't even have the URL on there yet.
Yeah.
I think the graphic kind of makes it busy, but I really like the graphic and how much it describes what's going on.
I guess, do we really need the copyright stuff on there?
I don't think
Yeah.
It helps distinguish it from Creative Commons.
so.
But if we're gonna, we've already, like at the top, we've said, hey, these are separate. I mean, I think going into this on the two-sided might make sense, but like the URL needs to be like big and in your face, and like, you know, people need to not miss that.
Yeah. But actually, William, do you have like what the URL would be yet?
Well, we could just make it Friends of CC Music.
Well, I was thinking that, like, you know, we can design a page that fills in the gaps.
Yes.
This, like, we know people have this in front of them, and then so
Right. So we can make it, at this point, we can make it anything / something. So it would be friendsofccmusic.org / whatever you guys want to do.
yeah. Log in here.
/ flyer.
No,
/ shows /
learn more.
Yeah, I think learn more might be best.
And actually, let me take this out of here. I'm making them all kind of separate entities. And shape, rectangle. Because I'm a big fan of drop shadows. I'm just going to warn you. So about everything I do, you're going to see me wanting to put a drop shadow on it. So just be prepared for that.
The only problem with the drop shadow is if people try to print black and white black and white rather than grayscale. But yeah, just run a test page before you print out 500 copies.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. How did I get that in there again?
Okay, so we have about 12 minutes left on this video. Okay. So I guess we should think about whether or not there's anything we want to have on this recording, or I guess it would be ideal if we had like a place for people to like grab this. We could put up, the only problem with the I mean, we could just open it up here and then we can just link directly to it. Like the general access is restricted right now.
Yeah.
So
I can put it to an open
think that's probably the best thing to do. And then if somebody goes and like, you know, graffitis it or whatever, then they've got like a rollback thing, right?
Well, I think what we should do is once we get to a version that we're happy with, we go ahead and kind of do a publishing steps for it, and then we can have a link to it as a read-only link and kind of have it as its own separate one, and then we have like our back-end copies.
Did I ever make a GitHub for CC Music? I know I did some stuff. Yeah, Friends of CC Music. I changed that, and then I made I don't remember what the CCMC. Oh yeah, that's just for issue tracking. How many repos do we get on a free account? I don't know about that. You know what I will do? Let's see. CC0, one of the, yeah, it's one of the options. I don't know. It's not very descriptive.
What, the flyer itself, or
No. I'm trying to. I was gonna make like a repo for CC0 stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, it's descriptive in one sense. The problem is I don't want to have like 1,000 different repos for like every document.
Yeah.
I suspect most of our stuff will not be CC0.
No.
So, yeah, you know what? I don't love it, but I think this might be the best move. So we can figure out what we can put in. I guess if we can like get like probably like an ODS file. Let's see what are our export options. Put it up there.
Just quick thought. Do you think the Cory Doctorow quote needs a box around it, or does it look good kind of standing out as it does?
I think it's fine the way it is. Yeah. I wonder though if maybe we want the URL to be the thing that jumps out instead of the quote. I don't know. I mean, maybe the URL is like not an eye catcher. You know, I don't know. I don't know how people feel about that.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, some people will just like, they won't even probably like do much. They'll just see our URL and they'll go there. You know,
what's the box thing? Can we make one of those?
Which box thing?
The things you scan with your.
You mean a drop shadow?
No, QR code.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you make those, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You also misspelled friends.
I told you I can't type when people are looking. If you'd looked away, I would have spelled
Oh,
it
it's
right.
.org, and it's .org.
It is .org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just said them wrongly.
Oh, and it's a dash in between learn and more. I'm sorry, I'm serious, but I'm like fucking with you.
Actually, let's size that down just a little bit. I think I almost look better sized up.
Well, but if we're going to put a QR code on there.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I was thinking, because if I do it that way, like this, is that page active?
Yeah. Should check it, please.
Checking it.
Yeah. Not much on it, but it's active.
Nope. Tell me what you tell me what you want. I'm here to serve.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn
I
more,
could put
get
it
smart.
on the links on the top too if you want. But,
Yeah, I think that might be good at the
Okay.
top.
I mean,
And for now, it might be good to get a link to creativecommons.org on there, just so it's not nothing.
link to Creative Commons from the website.
From that learn more page. Yeah, just get
Got
a
it.
link to
Just to
creativecommons.org on
Creative
there.
Commons.
And yeah, that way.
Okay.
That way it's not
I
like
got something. Yep.
you're right, exactly. So and we can think more about like, is there a better page to land at creativecommons.org, etc. There might be, I don't know. Does anybody have a QR code creator that they use? I've never created one before. This is
I've done it in
exciting.
the past. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything.
Actually, here, create QR code for this page.
Well, that's easy.
Is that just like, how'd you do that?
Right click the page.
Oh, so that's just what that's like a Chrome
Yeah,
thing.
Sweet.
that's why it's got the little dinosaur. And if we got that there,
See, ideally, Creative Commons would have put this under CC0, and then we wouldn't have to link to them.
yeah. Oh, and this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I wish we could just.
I don't love it.
I just tested it with my phone, and I was able to successfully open up the QR code link. So
Sweet.
I mean,
What if you move that up? Maybe move the QR code. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It looked jumbly before.
I think that really did kind of tighten it up a little.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and do this. It'll make that drop down some more.
Okay.
Oh, we're at 301. It's not.
Yeah, so I didn't start the recording right at the beginning, so we're going to get kicked off in like 2.5 minutes. So, do we want to keep going and kick another one off, or keep going and don't kick another one off, or think about a time to meet again and work on these?
I think I'm going to have to kind of go here in a minute.
Fair enough.
I got to go to the grocery store and get stuff for dinner tonight.
Yeah, and I need to just stuff things in my face because I think well, I wouldn't say I'm 1,700 calories behind, but yeah, I've got 1,700 calories I need to eat today. So
yeah.
But
I kind of do like this like that. I think it's simple and straightforward. It doesn't have too much information. I think the graphic does a really good job of saying most open, least open, and showing that it is there.
Right.
And the fact that it's using open on the right side, and instead of free, we said open, kind of ties that together. And it allows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even see that, but yeah, I see most open and least open on the. It's vertical.
Yeah.
Vertical words.
And then the allows for remixing, sharing, and adapting with conditions is perfectly represented by that over there.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off for just a second so I can get in before this cuts us off. January 25th, 8 a.m. Central. I will put it in the show notes, a link to the meeting invite / calendar entry, whatever. And on that calendar entry, there is a link to a spreadsheet that has the agenda. So if anybody wants to not come to the whole thing, but pick out a specific session, they can do that. We've got CET, Japan, and US Pacific on there too. So make sure you convert to your own time zone if you need to. All right, that's my spiel. We got like 10 seconds. Anybody want to say anything?